Chris Olds, Beckett here. Got a little throwback edition, Rip It Retail Retro for you, and it's got a kind of a theme involved too. We've got the 1990s issue of Beckett Sports Card Monthly out on the shelf now, looking back at a decade of craziness in the card world. And, stuff like the rising of Upper Deck, the creation of mem cards, all kinds of stuff's in here. Best rookie cards, best products. Just a fun look back at a decade that some players' cards are selling for crazy money in. So look for that in hobby shops now, newsstands probably quite soon. And as part of the 90s issue, thanks to Mike's Stadium Sports Cards in Denver, Colorado, I have some 90s retro ripping to do here. Now, some of you may love this stuff, some of you may click off here in a couple seconds. But when it comes to the 90s, the early 90s at least, stuff that got me going, Pro Set Football. 1990 Series 2 box. I like this one. Series 1's probably a little more fun with all the variations to chase, but this is kind of still more of an 80s type of product in its inclusions, at least its price point and its lack of hits. But a lot of the ideas that people love to rant and rave and love to hate, or just love and hate today, you could maybe blame Pro Set for some of them. That's 1990 Series 2. I also have a little selection of packs. 1992. I'll speed round some of these, lots of creative editing. And a 92 Series 2 stack. So I'm going to do the box first. You may see lots of snippets, but here we go. Every pack is kind of a plastic wrap, kind of a hefty bag material. Not quite today's standard. Every pack has a Pro Set playbook. You could submit points and get stuff like albums and hats and Pro Set shirts. Every pack has an insert card, Super Bowl MVPs with some, what was his name? Marv Corning, I think, art. Hope I didn't botch that name. And a whole bunch of stuff in Series 2. All-Pro, Pro Bowl cards, rookies, great photography. Substantially large set includes cards of kickers. You don't see that every day, especially not now. Let's see. Great color photography. Rodney Peete. Here's the card backs. Each team's kind of color-coded. I really like 90 Pro Set because of that. You've got draft picks in their full NFL uniforms, along with some prospects. You've got highlight cards of things like the American Bowl. So that was the first pack. Nothing really eventful there. I'm just going to start ripping. Try not to speed through talking-wise too much, but definitely want to make sure I, get the good stuff. Bruce Smith. Some really good photos. Back then, photos were important. Still are, just they don't seem to get as much attention as stuff like the big Mojo hits. Eric Green, rookie card. Joe Willie Namath, Super Bowl III MVP. Obviously, 1990 has a bunch of good rookies. I'm not going to rattle off their names just yet. I want to find a few. It was a pretty good class. Tom Tupa. Here's a good rookie, probably the best one to show off for timeliness. Junior Seau, rookie card, first round draft pick out of USC. Rob Moore, and here's a fun card. A letter to the collectors of Pro Set, encouraging you to order your extended series set so you can get the updated Andre Rison with the trade snipe, I believe they called them. I ordered them. Not much in this pack. Here's a really great photo showcasing award-winning photography of the NFL. Here's one of the monster rookies of 1990, Jeff George. Can't miss quarterback, drafted number 1 overall by the Colts. Sound familiar? His card back shows him holding cards at the draft. Here is Don Beebe's career-defining moment, at least if you watch a lot of NFL films. After this, he goes bonk and lands on his head. So, here we go. The card you've all been waiting to see. Emmitt Smith. He might be pretty good. Grading on these cards is pretty brutal. This came out of a pack just fresh, and it's got some little bit of rough edges, but pretty clean. I might think about getting that one slabbed up. Keith McCants. That's what I'm talking about. Santa Claus, baby. It's a nicely centered Santa Claus, too. Wow. Well, it's got it's got a little chipping on the edge. Cool. I always like this card. The bottom down there is a picture of the album you could get with your points, which I have some of. The elf up on the wall is the owner of the company. The back has a rather long and lengthy rhyme / song. That was a monster card back in the day. Now, not so much. But it sold some packs. Remember, don't forget the 1990s issue of Beckett Sports Card Monthly, available now. That was my radio voice, or ad voice, or whatever. And now we're fully full bleed photography. Very simple design. Backs are very similar, just not colored borders. Photography in 92 was excellent still. Great photography. Playoffs? Playoffs? How about Innovators? It's a subset. The Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders get their own card. I like stuff like that. Let's see what else we got. Great photography once again. Brent Jones. Some draft picks. Jimmy Smith. Stretch it out. Reggie Roby. Here's a cool card. It might be his, I think it is, yeah, it's his first coach card. Technically a rookie card per se of coaching. Bill Cowher. He didn't have a lot of cards after this because a lot of the other companies didn't make coaches cards. One of Al Davis's few cards, again. Bill Belichick, believe it or not. Another young coach at the time. Brand new coach, Mike Holmgren. It's a cool photograph. I don't think I've seen that card before. All right. And that was Series 1 of 92. Get my wrappers out of the way. Should see the mess I have to clean up here later. That was Series 1 of 1992. Something must have dramatically happened because they scrapped it for Series 2. Series 1 I like. The design, it's excellent. It's simple, but it's excellent. Series 2, dramatically different. Gone are the full bleed photos. It's now a bleed on the side, and you've got the name kind of awkwardly placed on the side of the photo. And the photos just don't really jive. It just doesn't work for me. To me, it's a bad way to finish off some Pro Set because it doesn't feel like Pro Set. It's fascinating they would make such a dramatic change in the middle of the year. Here's a Jerry Rice. Interesting photo, but kind of awkward. Not all the photos are bad, just that name on the side is distracting. Lots of Pro Bowl cards in this series. Emmitt Smith. How about a Hank Williams Jr. NFL Newsreel highlight card? Dan Marino with the football cut off because of the name. Ick. Mike Singletary. And oh no! Brett Favre MVP card. That's not a bad one. That was a trip through memory lane, at least for me, back in my heavily buying football days. I'm since retired for the most part. Of some 1990 and 1992 NFL Pro Set football. Why did I do this? The 90s issue, Beckett Sports Card Monthly, which you can find now at your hobby shop. We had a fun time making it. We hope you have a fun time reading it. Hope you had a fun time watching these 20-year-old plus packs being open too. Till next time, Chris Olds, Beckett Media. I'll see you then.